Once you hear the count 3, 2, 1, you know it's Claymore time. Only a few men alive can survive a Claymore from the Scottish warrior Drew McIntyre. He's built like a god and has the strength and fire to take on any man in the WWE. Drew McIntyre's story of winning a WWE Championship is very inspiring. Not only did he wait for over a decade to win the title, but he also did it in style. So join us as we uncover some of the untold stories of Drew's career. But make sure you stick to the very end where we reveal the heartwarming moment he won the WWE Championship for the first time. Let's begin. Drew, whose real name is Andrew McLean Galloway IV, was born in Ayr, Scotland on the 6th of June 1985. He grew up in Prestwick, where he studied at Prestwick Academy. But before he found love in wrestling, he considered being a professional football player when he was younger. He played for the youth club at Prestwick Boys, normally in defensive positions before concentrating on wrestling. When he was 10 years old, McIntyre read a magazine named X Factor, which focused on conspiracy theories and ghost stories. This prompted him to write a letter to the FBI under the Freedom of Information Act, to which the FBI responded by sending him a file with several documents. He told the story of how mad his dad was when they got the letters in their mailbox. Kids do a lot of crazy things, but this was on another level entirely. His love for ghost stories also led him to meet with a palm reader who made him realize he was going to be a famous entertainer when he grew up. At the time, it probably didn't make sense, but now we see it was always his destiny to be a world champion. But being a world champion didn't happen overnight. He began training for a professional wrestling career at the age of 15, and his parents agreed to support him as long as he gave the same amount of focus to his studies. He agreed and went on to earn a master's degree in criminology from Glasgow Caledonian University. Drew began training as a wrestler at the Frontier Wrestling Alliance's Academy at the age of 15, after his family moved to England and settled in Portsmouth. Although he was trained by the promotion's operator Mark Sloan, along with Justin Richards and James Tithe, he also cites the promotion's established wrestlers helping out with training, including Doug Williams, Paul Burchill, and Alex Shane. In 2003, Galloway made his debut for the inaugural show of British Championship Wrestling, operating in the Greater Glasgow area. His first match, which took place at February's No Blood, No Sympathy Night 1, saw him lose against another infamous wrestler, Stu Nat. Drew then fought for independent wrestling promotions between 2006 and 2007 before joining the WWE for the first time. Drew signed with WWE in late 2007 and made his official WWE debut on October 12th episode of SmackDown, under the modified ring name Drew McIntyre. In his debut match, McIntyre, accompanied by his on-screen mentor Dave Taylor, defeated Brett Major with a roll-up, establishing himself as a villainous character. However, the WWE withdrew Drew McIntyre from the main roster and sent him to their developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling. A few months after he joined OVW, the WWE separated from OVW and Drew McIntyre had to also leave the promotion. He was then sent to their second developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling, where he didn't find much success either. The WWE didn't have any plans to release him, so he was brought back to the main roster in 2009. On the 28th of August 2009, McIntyre re-debuted on the SmackDown brand, disregarding his previous time on WWE television and establishing himself as a villain by attacking R-Truth as he entered the ring, using his new double underhook DDT finishing move. McIntyre continued to attack Truth over the following weeks, claiming to be on the show to wrestle, not to party like R-Truth. The WWE then scripted a storyline featuring Drew McIntyre and R-Truth that led to his first match under the SmackDown brand. It even involved a speech where WWE Chairman Mr. McMahon introduced McIntyre as a future world champion that he had personally signed. Subsequently, Drew had a feud with Finlay before going for his first ever Survivor Series pay-per-view to represent Team SmackDown. Drew was the last survivor that night and ended up getting a win for Team SmackDown. This win put him in line for John Morrison's Intercontinental Championship at TLC Tables, Ladders and Chairs. Now, you trust John Morrison to always bring in the comic relief for the WWE. Here's what he did. Days before the event, Morrison mocked McIntyre's Scottish heritage by dressing as a Braveheart, inspired William Wallace But at TLC on December 13th, McIntyre managed to pin Morrison after a thumb to the eye to win the Intercontinental title, his first championship in WWE. At this point, the WWE Universe felt that maybe the promotion was serious about making this guy a world champion. But he just kept being thrown in a bunch of storylines that weren't necessarily leading to a world title match. But don't get it wrong, he did win the WWE Tag Team Championships in 2010 with Cody Rhodes. However, he was just another random wrestler on the main roster. It was later confirmed on the 12th of June of 2014 by WWE that McIntyre was released from his WWE contract. The release came as a result of Drew not making any particular improvements in the gimmick of his character and making some personal bad choices like partying, drinking, and a lot more. Leaving the WWE made him realize if he wanted to be a world champion, he needed to put in the effort. He returned to Insane Championship Wrestling, then moved to Evolve Championship, TNA, and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla before the WWE re-signed him in 2017. He knew now, more than ever, that he couldn't mess things up. On the April 12th episode of NXT, McIntyre made his NXT re-debut with new entrance music and displayed mannerisms he had developed on the independent circuit. McIntyre defeated Oney Lorcan and Killian Dane to become the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, earning the right to challenge Bobby Roode at NXT TakeOver. At the event on the 19th of August, McIntyre defeated Roode to win the NXT Championship. He was aligning perfectly with the goals of the WWE, and before he knew it, he was brought on board to join the main roster once again. On the 16th of April 2018, during the Superstar Shakeup, McIntyre returned from injury on Raw, attacking the group of Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews, known as Titus Worldwide. He then began an alliance with Dolph Ziggler, turning heel in the process. This was where the full Drew McIntyre was on display. He got slotted into multiple storylines with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Shane McMahon. It was at this point that the WWE finally kicked him into the main event status. Before we talk about that, let's do something for you watching this video. We're doing a shout-out contest for our subscribers, so if you want to get a personal shout-out from us, go comment EPIC in the comment section below and stand a chance to win the contest. It's pretty easy, so go comment EPIC now. From late 2019 to early 2020, McIntyre embarked on a winning streak, while vowing to win the Royal Rumble match. At the Royal Rumble on the 26th of January, McIntyre won the Men's Rumble match by lastly eliminating Roman Reigns, earning himself a championship opportunity at WrestleMania 36. In the match, McIntyre eliminated 6 participants, including WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. The following night on Raw, McIntyre announced that he chose to challenge Lesnar for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 36. Sadly, COVID-19 came and WrestleMania 36 was scheduled to take place behind closed doors at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. But this didn't stop the match from being an instant classic. The Beast Brock Lesnar started off strong as expected, catching Drew in the turnbuckle and with a clothesline. But as the match progressed, Drew shifted the momentum to his side by delivering a claymore to the Beast, but Brock still kicked out at 2. Just when Drew was going for another claymore, Paul Heyman yelled at him that Drew was coming, allowing Brock to pick Drew up and deliver his hardcore German suplex. Brock Lesnar delivering 2 more suplexes and finally gave McIntyre his finisher F5, but McIntyre kicked out at the referee's count of 2. Brock stared down McIntyre in disbelief and typically had no other idea what he had to do to keep Drew down. He delivered 2 more F5s, but Drew still kicked out of the cover. Drew was definitely hurt, but he was determined to win that title at all costs. Brock Lesnar lifted McIntyre up for his 4th F5, but McIntyre pulled out and delivered a claymore. He did it again and again until the Beast was out cold. Drew went in for the pin, and finally, after more than a decade, he was the new WWE Champion. But of course, the career of Drew McIntyre didn't end there. Make sure you check out this other video showing on your screen right now. Bye!